Hey nerds, it's Sunday, September 29th, the 40th week of 2024, and I'm running down what's coming up this week, starting now. Welcome back to the Nerd Social. I'm Nathan. As always, if you want to jump ahead of this intro to see what's coming up on any day of the week, there are chapter links below. All right, let's get into it. It's the fall season and there is much more competition for your time right now. All right, so today, Sunday, we have the season finale of Industry, Season 3. Infinite Largesse, as a new era dawns at Pearpoint, Yasmin and Robert pay a fated visit to the countryside, and Harper comes to a career crossroads. Ridley, Season 2, Episode 3, The Hollow Tree, Part 1. When a decomposed body is discovered deep in the woods, Ridley unearths a connection to a cold case. Ridley brings disgraced ex-copper Gene Dixon back to investigate. Gene's personal life with new boyfriend Ross soon becomes compromised. Moonflower Murders, Episode 3. Susan investigates what Alan Conway knew about the Frank Paris murder, but D.S. Locke warns her to stay away from the case. Matlock, Episode 2. When in Rome. There's no description for this episode, but this follows Madeline Matlock, played by Kathy Bates. From Season 3, Episode 2, Boyd struggles to find a path forward as the town says farewell to one of their own. Fatima's health takes a turn for the worse, while Tabitha finds help from an unlucky ally. We got Episode 2 of The Penguin tonight. Episode 1 debuted last week on Wednesday. The description is, Sophia works to secure her family's strength, while Oz attempts to play both Falcone and Maroney families to his advantage. We get copies of these episodes a few days ahead of time, and just like last week, Holland will drop a breakdown and review of the episode at 10 p.m. We had the Season 2 debut of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. This season is entitled The Book of Carol. Don't have a description of the episode, but the description of the show is Daryl Dixon washes ashore in France and struggles to piece together how he got there and why. He journeys across a broken but resilient France as he hopes to find a way back home. The connections he forms along the way complicate his ultimate plan to get home. Tonight's episode is entitled Largesse des Étrangers. My French pronunciation is probably terrible. That translates to The Kindness of Strangers. We also have the season premiere of Krapopolis, which follows the flawed family of humans, gods, and monsters that tries to run one of the world's first cities without killing each other. This week's episode is entitled Ice Week. Tyrannus tries to keep his cool when he gets the hots for a reporter visiting Krapopolis for its annual Ice Week. An old friend pays Schlob a visit. Hippocampus and Stupendous risk missing the festivities completely. Tonight we also get season 36 premiere of The Simpsons. This episode is entitled Bart's Birthday. Description is Bart celebrates a birthday that will change his life forever. And that's a funny description because Bart should actually be like 45 years old this year. Anyway, on Monday we have the season finale of Futurama. This is episode 10 of season 12, entitled Otherwise. When Fry proposes to Leela, he is overcome by a near-fatal attack of deja vu. We also have a new episode of Brilliant Minds entitled The Disembodied Woman. When a high school girls basketball coach is faced with a debilitating illness, Dr. Wolf must help his patient reconnect with her body before it's too late. Erica and Dana treat a frat boy who sees dragons. We have quite a few things on Tuesday, starting with Moonflower Murders in the Building. Episode 6 of Season 4, Blow Up. A documentary film is made by the Brothers Sisters. As usual, we'll have a spoiler-free review and breakdown up. For this, you can check out the playlist for the previous coverage up there. On Tuesdays, we also usually get an episode of High Potential, but is being preempted by the VP debates, which I'll talk about a little bit later. We get the season premiere and also the complete season of The Last Days of the Space Race on Hulu. Set in 1979 Western Australia, a power strike threatens to plunge the region into darkness, while the city hosts the iconic Miss Universe pageant, and the US space station Skylab crashes just beyond the city's suburbs. I have screeners for this, but they sent them to me and didn't tell me they were sending them to me, so I haven't watched this yet. However, the trailer for this looks really interesting. Also on Tuesday, we have have the premiere on Apple TV of Where's Wanda? Desperate parents Dito and Carlotta Clark search for their missing daughter months after her disappearance. Frustrated by the police's inability to find her, they investigate the neighbors, uncovering dark secrets behind closed doors. I have screeners for this too, because I have screeners for all Apple TV Plus stuff, but I haven't seen it yet. It seems to be a German comedy. There are English dubs for it. It looks funny from the trailer, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it this week. On Tuesday, as I mentioned, we also have the 2024 vice presidential debate will feature Republican candidate Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio and a Democratic candidate Governor Tim Walz from Minnesota. Hosted by CBS, the 90-minute debate will be moderated by Nora O'Donnell of the CBS Evening News and Margaret Brennan of CBS's Face the Nation. This is the only scheduled vice presidential debate for this election cycle, and it will take place at CBS's broadcast center in New York City. The debate will be available for viewing on CBS as well as ABC, NBC, PBS, and various other cable news networks. Live streaming will be available on CBS News 24/7 and Paramount Plus, and it will be cast across several platforms. On Tuesday, we also have movies coming to VOD. All Kinds of Love. Max, recently divorced and thrown back into the world of modern dating, is forced to share an apartment with the young and romantically inexperienced Conrad when unexpected sparks fly. Borderland, forced to collaborate on a serious crime, contrasting detectives Philip Boyd and I.F. Reagan with clashing personalities and backgrounds overcome initial friction to form an unlikely but formidable crime-fighting partnership. Also on VOD and DVD on Tuesday is Deadpool and Wolverine. A listless Wade Wilson toils away in civilian life with his days as a morally flexible mercenary Deadpool behind him. But when his homeworld faces an existential threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again with an even more reluctant Wolverine. A review for this is above as well for when it came out in theaters. 4:30 Movie. A semi-autobiographical teen comedy follows three 16-year-old friends who spend their Saturdays sneaking into movies at the local Cineplex. This is the most recent Kevin Smith movie. Lavia's House. Inspired by true events, a young journalist who, after moving with her lover, begins an investigation into the disappearance of an Italian artist with links to murders that happened 20 years ago. Me, Myself, and the Void. A down on his luck stand-up finds himself in a void world, hovering precariously between life and death. It is in the void that Jack must discern how he ended up face down on his bathroom floor and find a way out before it's too late. My Penguin Friend, inspired by a true story, an enchanting adventure about a lost penguin rescued from an oil spill who transforms the life of a broken fisherman. Strange Darling. Nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. Treasure Trackers. A trio of misfit middle schoolers band together to investigate their small town's mystic treasure, only to uncover a Halloween curse. On Wednesday, we have Agatha All Along, episode 4. If I Can't Reach You, Let My Song Teach. We don't have a description for this episode, but I did a spoiler review of the first episodes, including this one, so there is a link above for that review. However, I don't know what happens after this episode. Colin has been doing breakdowns of these episodes after they debut on Disney+. We have the season finale of Arc Season 2, episode 12, entitled Fortunate. The crew arrives somewhere that seems too good to be true, and it just might be. Bad Monkey, episode 9. You really don't want to kill this scrumptious little puppy. Yanti learns that his plan has gone awry, leaving Rosa in danger. Eve and the Dragon Queen have a reckoning. Slow Horses, episode 5, Grave Danger. Lamb questions David about France as River comes face to face with the enemy. Grotesquerie, episodes 3 and 4. Episodes 3 description is Lois finds comfort in an unexpected person, and episode 4's description is a strange clue sends Lois to a remote location. We have the premiere of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. You get the complete 5th season. Immersive, character-driven stories are rooted in the experiences of ordinary people who have lived the unthinkable. Families, detectives, and journalists hope viewers hold the clues to solving these mysteries. Also, we have the premiere of Secrets of the Dead on PBS. This is season 22. Mysteries involving notable historical events, people, and locations are scientifically examined. On Thursday, we have the season finale of The Rings of Power, episode 8. So we are 2 weeks behind on our breakdowns of the show. Paul and I both have kids, and she had a family event 2 weeks ago. My daughter had a birthday last week, and we both have 2 other jobs besides this one, and these breakdowns take so much longer than any other productions that we're covering. That said, we will catch up, and Paul and I will be breaking down episodes 6, 7, and 8, and talk about the entire season as a whole. Reasonable Doubts, episode 8, Change the Game. As the defense begins their case, Jax's force face a new normal with Lewis. Meanwhile, Lucy struggles to keep her ex-husband out of her life. Had the season premiere of The Legend of Vox Machina. After saving the realm from evil and destruction at the hands of the most terrifying power couple in Exandria, Vox Machina is faced with saving the world once again, this time from the sinister group of dragons known as the Chroma Conclave. Amazon sent me screeners for all of the episodes in the season, but I haven't seen the first 2 seasons yet, so I don't know if I have the bandwidth to start covering this. I'm not a big D&D person, but checking the show out has been on my to-do list for a while, so I'll see what I can do. We have the season premiere of Heartstopper on Netflix. The entire 3rd season is going to drop. Charlie, a high-strung, openly gay overthinker, and Nick, a cheerful, soft-hearted rugby player, one day are made to sit together in class. Their friendship becomes something more for Charlie, but he does not believe he has a chance. So this stars Joe Locke from Agatha All Along and Kit Connor from The Wild Robot. And I just reviewed that movie. It's great. Check out the review in the link above. We have a special on Max called Velma. This Halloween needs to be more special. Velma and the crew scramble to find a sinister spellbook within 24 hours to resurrect her, dodging a malevolent spirit's fury. As the sexy Halloween bash looms, they confront their deepest terrors, fighting for their lives. So I have a screening for this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it to produce a video before it comes out because they sent this to me last week and there are other things we're committed to. We have the series premiere of which is Truth Behind the Trials. This is going to be on Disney Plus and Hulu, probably related to Agatha. The complete limited series is going to drop. It's a 6-part series recreating witch trials from Germany, Scotland, England, Sweden, US, and Ireland through expert analysis, explores reasons behind deaths and injuries, bringing events to life. We have the season 2 premiere of Found on NBC. Each year, over 600,000 people are reported missing in the United States. Gabby Mosley and her crisis management team use unorthodox methods to find forgotten people. So the season 2 premiere is entitled Missing While Bait. Gabby and her team at Mosley and Associates begin to spiral amid her shocking revelation. Lacey's childhood flashbacks begin to resurface, providing vital clues as Sir remains at large. Couple movies debuting: House of Spoils on Prime Video. It tells the story of a chef who opens her first restaurant where she battles kitchen chaos, a dubious investor, and self-doubt. But the pressure heats up thanks to the spirit of the estate's previous owner, who threatens to sabotage her. This stars Ariana DeBose. I'm gonna try to get a screener for this one. Salem's Lot on Max. Author Ben Mears returns to his childhood home of Jerusalem's Lot in search of inspiration for his next book. To discover his hometown is being preyed upon by a bloodthirsty vampire. I will try to get screeners for this one as well. Hold Your Breath. In 1930s Oklahoma, amid the region's horrific dust storms, a woman is convinced that a sinister presence is threatening her family. This is a Hulu film that Sarah Pulse. I reached out to Searchlight Pictures for a screener for this and I haven't heard back yet, but if we get it, I will try to review it. Finally on Thursday, we have Regrown Now premiering on Netflix. 2 young boys, best friends Malik and Eric, discover the joys and hardships of growing up in the sprawling Cabrini Green public housing complex in 1992 Chicago. So this film won the Independent Spirit Award for Best Feature earlier this year, so you should probably check it out. On Friday, we have Pachinko Episode 7, Chapter 15. Don't have a description for this episode yet. We have the 2nd episode of The Great British Baking Show on Netflix. There's no description for the 2nd episode, but last week was Cake Week. We have the 2nd episode in the 3-part series of Voices American Historia, the untold story of Latinos. Episode 2, Threads in the American Tapestry, explores how Latino DNA has been woven into the identity of the United States since before her inception and has been pivotal all along the way. Despite facing severe discrimination and violence, Latinos were present and contributed in pivotal ways to the fabric of this nation, highlighting key figures and events. Host John Leguizamo shows how Latinos helped build the United States we know today. We had the season premiere of Angel of Death on Max. They're actually going to premiere the entire season 2 and 3 and also the beginning of season 4 on Friday. A detective must confront her past to catch a suspected serial killer before he strikes again. This is a Polish show that's dubbed. We have the season premiere of Curses on Apple TV. When a generations-long family curse turns Alex Vanderhoeven to stone, it's up to his 2 kids, Pandora and Russ, and his wife, Sky, to return artifacts stolen by their ancestors to their rightful homes to finally lift the curse for good. I watched most of the first season of this show last year. It's like Carmen Sandiego or Tomb Raider for kids, but more aware of the terrible Western stereotypes that usually accompany the sort of explorer narrative. I have screeners for this, of course, as well. And I might check it out with my 4-year-old and I'll report back in a review. On Netflix, we have The Platform 2, a thrilling physical journey that allows an approach to the darkness where it is scary to look up. It appeals to the viewer's civil responsibility and forces them to face the limits of their own solidarity. Also on Netflix, it's What's Inside. A group of friends gather for a pre-wedding party that descends into an existential nightmare when a strange friend arrives with a mysterious game that awakens long-hidden secrets, desires, and grudges. On Shudder, we have DHS Beyond. 6 blood-curdling tapes unleash horror in the sci-fi-inspired hell landscape, pushing the boundaries of fear and suspense. Next, we have Dee Dee. In 2008, during the last month of summer before high school begins, an impressionable 13-year-old Taiwanese American boy learns what his family can't teach him: how to skate, how to flirt, and how to love your mom. So I saw this at Sundance earlier this year. It actually debuted in theaters a couple weeks ago. It's a pretty good film, so you should check it out if you have Peacock. The Killer's Game. When a hitman is diagnosed with a terminal illness, he decides to take a hit out on himself. But when the very hitman he hired also target his ex-girlfriend, he must fend off an army of assassin colleagues. If you want to check it out, I think I gave it a 5 on our scale, maybe a 4. A Million Days. Over the course of one night, an astronaut must decide between pursuing his life's work or sabotaging it for the greater cause when he uncovers a sinister artificial intelligence plot aimed at derailing a historic lunar mission. Red Rooms. The high-profile case of a serial killer, Ludwig Calvier, has just gone to trial, and Kelly Ann is obsessed. When reality blurs with her morbid fantasies, she goes down a dark path to seek the final piece of the puzzle: the missing video of a murdered 13-year-old girl to whom Kelly Ann bears a disturbing resemblance. This is on VOD just like the previous 2. Also on VOD, we have The Wait, a sinister folk story tragedy that takes place in the forgotten Andalusian countryside of Spain, a place marked by ancestral tradition, portraying the macabre descent into hell of a man who suffered the tragic loss of his family. Also on VOD. So, in wide release, we have Joker Folie à Deux. Arthur Fleck is institutionalized at Arkham, awaiting trial for his crimes as Joker. While struggling with his dual identity, Arthur not only stumbles upon true love, but also finds the music that's always been inside him. Colin and I are going to a press screening for this one on Wednesday, and we'll have a review up soon after that. Monster Summer. When a mysterious force begins to disrupt their big summer fun, Noah and his friends team up with a retired police detective to embark on a monstrous adventure to save their island. Mel Gibson is in this movie for some reason. Not certain why. People keep giving him money to make movies or parts in movies, but take from that what you will. Whitebird. Struggling to fit in at his new school after being expelled for his treatment of Augie Pullman, Julian is visited by his grandmother and transformed by the story of her attempts to escape Nazi-occupied France during World War II. This is the sequel to the movie Wonder. And more limited release, we have Blink. Inc. chronicles a family's global trip before their children lose vision to a rare genetic disorder, capturing their journey to experience the world's beauty while they can still see, and preparing for an inevitable future. Dali, a French journalist, meets the iconic surrealist artist Salvador Dali on several occasions for a documentary project that never came to be. Frankie Frico, workaholic yuppie Connor, is in an existential rut until one night he catches a bizarre ad for a party hotline hosted by a strange dancing goblin, Frankie Frico. Could this just be the recipe to spice up his boring life? The Outrun. After living life on the edge in London, Rona attempts to come to terms with her troubled past. Hoping to heal, she returns to the wild beauty of Scotland's Orkney Islands, where she grew up. And finally, we have Things Will Be Different. In order to escape police after a robbery, two estranged siblings lay low in a farmhouse that hides them away in a different time. They reckon with a mysterious force that pushes their familiar bonds to unnatural breaking points. This is in limited release on theaters and also on VOD. So that's it for this week. If you want us to cover any productions we aren't already covering, comment below, and if we get enough requests, we'll try to work them into our production schedule. And if you found this video useful, be sure to like and share and subscribe to make sure you don't miss our next update, our analysis, our reviews, or our news coverage. All right, guys, see you in the next one. Bye.